Egypt is considered to be the country where glassmaking emerged. It is evidenced by the glass-glazed faience tiles of the pyramid's interior walls. That is, glass existed in Egypt as far back as 5,000 years ago. A greenish-colored bead about 9 mm in diameter stored in the Berlin Museum is considered to be one of the most ancient articles of glassmaking. It was found by Egyptologist Flinders Petrie near Thebes, and according to some estimates, it is 5,500 years old. Currently existing glass products are used in an immense variety of purposes, covering a wide range of areas, as the material possesses both original properties, which have come down to us from ancient times, such as transparency, reflectivity, resistance to aggressive environments, decorative values, and many others, as well as enhanced qualities which were added synthetically, such as heat resistance, durability, bioactivity, controlled electrical conductivity, etc. Different types of glass are used in all spheres of human activity, from construction, fine arts, optics, healthcare, to measuring equipment, high technologies and astronautics, aviation and military equipment. The development of stained glass art is connected with the production of transparent colored glasses of a given shape. Another well-known type of colored glass is mosaic smalt, often hand-melted of irregular shapes and various shades, as well as the degree of muffling. The classic examples of the use of smalt are the decoration of Byzantine temples and the architectural complex in Samarkand. Another type of glass is art glass. Due to its unique properties, this material can surpass many gems in beauty. It is also noteworthy that once only glass could compete with gold in terms of price. Indeed, the earliest man-made glass samples are jewelry. Real masterpieces are often blown out of art glass. Glass blowing is an operation that allows making various shapes from viscose molten glass, such as spheres, vases, and drinking glasses. A glass blower's most important working tool is the blowing tube, which is a hollow metal tube 1 meter or 1.5 meters long, 1/3 of which is covered with wood, and a brass mouthpiece is placed at the end. Using a tube, a glass blower takes molten glass from the furnace, blows it into the shape of a ball, and forms it. To do this, he needs metal shears for cutting off the glass mass and attaching it to the tube, long tweezer-shaped metal pincers for pulling and molding the glass mass, as well as for the formation of embossed patterns, etc. The diamond shears for cutting the entire product off the tube, and a wooden spoon for leveling the collected glass mass. A glass blower puts the glass performed with the help of those tools into a mold made of wood or iron. The rough edges remaining from the cutting off have to be removed by polishing. The finished product is knocked off the tube using jacks and carried into an annealing furnace. The product is annealed for several hours at a temperature of about 500 degrees Celsius with the aim of removing the stress that has developed in glass. An unburned product can crumble at the slightest touch or even with no impact whatsoever. Generally, there are quite a lot of varieties of glass, but today we will talk about the silicate glass. Silicate glass is a common glass that is found everywhere. The list of products is almost endless. From tableware, decorative objects, glasses, laboratory vessels, incandescent lamps, windows, and up to hundreds of other items that we directly or indirectly use in our daily lives. The main types are soda lime, potassium lime, and potassium lead. Industrial glass is divided into types such as construction, technical, electrovacuum, tar, laboratory, safe, optical, and varietal. What glass is used in our houses and offices? What kind of glass protects people in shopping malls and sports facilities? We'll talk about this in this episode of our program. Inorganic glass is considered to be the most common type of glass. It is famous for its high mechanical, chemical, and thermal characteristics. Production of this type of glass has become increasingly popular in the construction industry. Despite the fact that glass is very fragile and sensitive to mechanical damage, its compression resistance is on a level with cast iron. In order to enhance the durability of the glass, it is strengthened by quenching, ion exchange, as well as chemical and heat treatment that allows eliminating micro cracks that are formed on the surface of the glass when exposed to the environment. Sheet glass is made of two main ingredients, such as sodium carbonate and quartz sand. Previously, the vertical drawing method was used in the manufacture of these products, but it is technologically outdated. Currently, a float method is used in the production of sheet glass. Based on this method, glass is placed in a special bath where the molten tin is located. On an industrial scale, the production of sheet glass began as far back as several decades ago. The popularity of this type of product is maintained due to the application of new modern and innovative technologies that ensure unsurpassed quality. The glass is produced by cooling the components melted at a temperature of plus 300 to plus 2500 degrees Celsius at a sufficient speed to prevent the formation of visible crystals. Sand alone is enough to make glass, however, the temperature required for its melting will be much higher. For that reason, soda is added as a modifier. Limestone makes it more durable. The optimal composition is about 75% of silica, 10% of lime, and 15% of soda. After the glass has been produced, almost anything can be made from it, including doors, partitions, fences, roofs, canopies, stairs, facades, shower cabins, and much more. But for this purpose, the sheet glass must be processed in order to improve its quality and extend its service life. In order to find out how glass is processed, we visited a factory in Oral City. And we will tell you in detail about all the processes whereby a sheet of glass turns into a window, facade, or partition. This factory produces a variety of products, such as doors. Glass doors are resistant to moisture, temperature effects, and mechanical damage. They are equipped with modern moisture-proof fittings and have many processing and decoration options. The minimum period of use is 30 years. Experts do not advise installing doors with a width exceeding 80 centimeters, as the fittings tend to wear out quickly. If a wide doorway is required, it is better to install double doors. If you're busy arranging a home or office, keep this in mind. The factory also produces double glazed windows, in other words, plastic windows, although they are often made of metal. Thus, a double glazed window combines several glass panes into a single window system. Most of them have double or triple glazing. Glass sheets in double glazed windows are separated by spacers and a fixed layer of air or vacuum. Wall glass blocks are made of two different halves. They are pressed and annealed together in the process of glass melting. They are used for architectural purposes in the construction of walls, skylights, etc. They ensure an aesthetic appearance when light passes through. I have been working in the glass service industry since 2007. In 2007, we started with a small line of glass units. In 2012, we purchased 2 more production lines for glass units. This made our factory an all-around glass manufacturer. The use of glass in construction has long been an established trend, and several types of these products are also used here. Tempered glass is safe as it breaks up into small fragments with blunt, non-cutting edges when destroyed. In construction, it is used for making doors, partitions, and ceilings. Laminated glass or triplex, reinforced or non-reinforced, consists of several sheets of glass firmly glued together with a transparent elastic interlayer, most often made of polyvinyl butyrol. Upon impact, it does not produce fragments and is safe. Heat-absorbing glass is designed to protect the interiors of buildings from the effects of direct sunlight and reduce solar radiation in the premises. Glass of blue, gray, and bronze shades are obtained by adding cobalt, iron, or selenium oxides into the glass mass. By blocking a large number of infrared rays, the glass heats up and undergoes large temperature deformations. Therefore, when glazing, a sufficient gap between the frame and the glass should be ensured. This type of glass is used in order to reduce the sun's heat in residential, cultural, public, and industrial buildings. Heat-reflecting glass is used to protect the premises from sunlight and heat rays. Thin layers of metals and their oxides are applied to the surface of the glass. The glass's light transmission is 30 to 70%, while heat transmission is 40 to 60%. Due to the fact that in such glasses most of the infrared rays are not absorbed but reflected, the glass itself is barely heated. Due to the reduced radiation from the room, they increase heat protection in winter. Glass can have different colors such as golden, blue, orange, etc. Remarkably, Kazakh enterprises produce several types of glass, which is used both in our country and abroad. We started exporting our product to Russia first, and last year to Europe. At the moment, we sell our product to Estonia and Belgium. We have West Kazakhstan's only glass tempering furnace. For example, glass produced by the factory in Oral was used in the construction of the Bayterek monument in Astana. It should be noted that the volume of earthworks amounted to 8,600 cubic meters, while concrete works were estimated to be 2,900. Meanwhile, 1 kiloton of steel structures were used, whereas more than 1,500 square meters of glazing works for the dome were performed. For finishing, engineering and special works, 23 subcontractors were involved. The approximate cost of the metal work and glazing totals about $6 million. The facility was commissioned under the Act of State Commission in 2003. The building is 97 meters tall, however its height with the sphere crowning the structure is 102 meters. The sphere is 22 meters in diameter. The Emerald Towers residential complex stands out amongst glass buildings in Astana. It consists of 3 high-rise towers with varying numbers of floors, 37, 40 and 53. The construction began in 2006, yet the complex was put into operation in 2011. The Emerald Towers is the second tallest building in Kazakhstan after the Television Tower and the Abu Dhabi Plaza mixed-use development complex. Its concept was developed by architect Roy Varakali. The building's unique feature is its asymmetric design. Starting from the 32nd floor, the area of the following floors increases, with the top floor deviating by 15 meters. The total area of the complex is 280,000 square meters. The project's cost is $350 million. Glass is used in the construction of greenhouses. This material withstood the test of time because initially greenhouses, glass houses, and orangeries were made exclusively from it. Today, many tend to continue to use this practice. Glass and metal profiles makes a stable, solid construction that will last for many decades, and when the carrying profiles do become unusable, they can be replaced, while old glass sheets may be reinstalled. After all, this material has no expiration date. While this fact can be presented as an advantage, there are other issues that the greenhouse owners cannot cope with on their own. That is, there are no issues with the construction of greenhouses, but growing vegetables and providing them to the Kazakh residents remains an unsolved task.
Казахстан полностью себя обеспечить все равно не может. Казахстан, я думаю, где-то в районе 60-70% максимум, что может.
Kazakhstan cannot fully satisfy its own needs. I believe that Kazakhstan can fulfill about 60 to 70% of its needs at most. At the moment, there is no support from the government, no subsidies for fertilizers. Actually, we have subsidies for fertilizers. However, out of 16 items, we receive subsidies for only 2, yet sold by one particular company, whereas previously we used to receive subsidies for electricity, gas, and water. Unfortunately, this is not the case at present. Greenhouses are not being constructed in Kazakhstan now because it has become unprofitable. Many greenhouses are being sold because they cannot repay the loans. And this is due to the fact that neighboring countries such as Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Iran, and the Russian Federation import their products here. In other countries such as Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, and the Russian Federation, they fully subsidize their greenhouse complexes. For instance, in Turkmenistan, gas costs 18 times cheaper than in Kazakhstan. For example, our gas costs 38 tenge, but they have it for 2 tenge per cubic meter. Electricity is about 10 to 15 tenge. It depends on the countries. In Kazakhstan, it is currently 36 tenge per kilowatt of electricity. And that's why we are uncompetitive.
В данный момент 36 тенге за 1 киловатт электроэнергии. Поэтому мы являемся неконкурентоспособными.
Various light scattering materials are used in greenhouses, such as glass with a specially treated surface, temporary seasonal coatings which are applied to the glazing by spraying, as well as movable screens. Light scattering by glass is obtained by creating hemispheres in the glass structure of a certain size and density. Their distribution relative to the glass surface affects the degree of light scattering. The light scattering glass has an uneven surface. The rays penetrate through the glass and a change in their direction occurs. Light scattering glass does not cast shadows and distributes light evenly among plants. This makes the microclimate in the greenhouse more uniform, and an increased intensity of photosynthesis in the lower tier leads to higher yields. However, in order to produce a yield, a lot of work has to be performed. First with seeds, then with seedlings. And that's not all.
Ну, смотрите, мы вот покупаем ежегодно субстракт, он есть.
Annually, we purchase substrate. As you know, there are mineral and coconut substrates. So per hectare, we spend about 10 million tenge. Also, we purchase seeds, the Dutch ones. We order them. They are delivered to us and we buy them. We have a nursery where we grow our plants. The seedlings grow for about a month in the nursery. For example, cucumbers grow for about 25 days in the nursery. Then we transplant them into the greenhouse. That is, it takes 2 months for us to grow cucumbers before harvesting them in wintertime. As for costs per hectare, it will take 15 to 18 million tenge just to plant them. In addition, we have to buy monthly nutrition such as nutritives and fertilizers. We also have costs for gas and power. This is already about 30 to 40 million tenge per hectare.
Удобрения, газ, свет – это у вас на гектар уже в районе 30-40 миллионов.
Greenhouse owners admit that they treat their seedlings like babies. Special solutions are prepared for them, which allow harvesting a high-quality yield, yet preserving healthy properties of vegetables.
Мы промышленные теплицы, вот все дают, допустим, кальций.
In industrial greenhouses, we treat our plants with nutrients such as calcium and magnesium in a powder format. We dilute them with water. There is a certain concentration. We purchase all the required additives such as natural calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, iron nitrate, and manganese. All this is mixed in designated tanks. We have separate tanks for that. We mix these nutrients, all of them contain no GMOs, and we water the plants using a dripper. Actually, it is very similar to baby formulas that you buy for your kids. Similarly, it is all mixed in warm water and then given to the plants. In hydroponics, everything is natural as we use little to no pesticides. A company performed sampling and the coefficient was 0.4 for pesticides. They came, took samples, and the result was 0.128, which is even 3 times less than the norm because we buy fertilizers. We spend 5 to 6 million tenge on fertilizers per month in order to harvest natural products. That's how much we spend in industrial greenhouses. Regions with the highest gross harvest of vegetables and potatoes in the Republic of Kazakhstan are the Almaty, Zhambul, South Kazakhstan and North Kazakhstan regions. Most of the country's territory is not suitable for cultivation of vegetable crops and potatoes due to harsh natural climatic conditions, lack of precipitation, shortage of fresh water sources for irrigation, high temperatures, or lack of nutrients in soils. In this regard, industrial greenhouses can be very useful as they allow providing the population with vegetables and fruits. According to statistics, vegetables such as tomatoes, onions, cabbage, cucumbers, and eggplants make up 40% of the world's vegetable production. Countries such as China and India are the world's largest vegetables producers. Meanwhile, the United States is the world's leading vegetables importer. In many countries, most vegetables are produced for domestic markets, whereas in developed countries, processed vegetables take more than half of the total consumption. Analysis of the vegetable market in most countries shows a relative saturation at the expense of domestic production. As we can see, glass does not only protect us, but also helps grow a crop of vegetables and fruits all year round.
Нет, это я
I will speak for myself. I consume only products from my own greenhouse. I made a conclusion that I won't buy products from other places. I wait for my vegetables to ripen and eat only them. Because we grow our products all year round. Within 12 months, we don't produce cucumbers for 2 months at most. While during the remaining 10 months, we grow cucumbers as we make 3 cycles of cucumbers. That is, while many others, based on common practice, make 2 cycles in spring and autumn, we make a spring, summer and autumn cycles of cucumbers. We wish you to never break glass and eat only healthy food products, definitely made in Kazakhstan.